Hi everyone, my name is Virginia Wade, and today we're going to talk about how Archangel Michael healed my car. He fixed my car. What happened was I was driving home and I stopped to get gas, and it was raining and I got some bad gas. So I couldn't really drive too well. The car kept stalling. So I pulled into the post office, which was across the street. I got out of the car, and it was dripping oil. I looked underneath the car, and all this oil came out. It was brown oil, a big, huge puddle. And the car just would not start. And so I called on Archangel Michael. I said, can you come and fix the car? Because I've got to get home. I lived about 2 blocks from there. But I'd have to go through a major intersection, and I didn't want to stall in the middle of an intersection. So I was afraid to drive the car, and it wouldn't really start. And then I kept trying, and then it started a little bit, and then it stalled, and it kept doing that. So I was pretty much stuck at the post office. So I called on Archangel Michael, and I gave him permission. Can you please come and heal the car, fix the car? And then all of a sudden, this man appeared and walked up to the car. Now, there was nobody around. It was starting to get dark, and I'm in the post office parking lot, the only one there. There's nothing else there. The gas station was across the street. This man out of nowhere appears, and he walks up to my car, and he said, "What's the problem?" And I said, "Well, there's all this oil. See the big puddle of oil underneath the car, and it keeps stalling. I got bad gas." Well, he opened the hood and he looked in, and he said, "Well, everything looks good to me." I go, "Well, I just looked under the hood and it keeps stalling." And he goes, "Just drive the car home." I go, "But it keeps stalling, and if I get stuck in the intersection, what am I going to do? It's too dangerous." And he looked at me and he said, "Just get in, start the car, and drive it home, and you'll be okay." And I go, "Okay." I didn't want to argue with the guy. And then he left. And so then I turned around and he was gone. It's like, oh, there's no way. I mean, I would have seen him cross the street. Where'd he go? He just vanished. So I started the car, and it started right up. I drove it home, and it did not stall. And I got it home. But before I drove it home, I took a Kleenex and put it in that oil. I thought, well, this car is going to have to go to the mechanic the next day and be fixed. There's something really wrong with it. And I'll show them this Kleenex that has the brown oil on it, so they know that it was leaking brown oil. I got home, and then the next day I had it towed over to the mechanic. And the mechanic looked at it, and he said, "Well, there's nothing wrong with your car." And I go, "But it leaked all this oil, and here's the Kleenex to prove it." And he goes, "There is no residue of any oil or anything on your car." And so underneath, I said, "Well, that's where it came out of. It's a big, huge puddle." He said, "Ma'am, there is no evidence of anything coming out there. There's no oil, no residue. There is nothing there. The car is fine. It drives fine. They took it for a test run. Everything is good. They said there's no charge. Just, there's nothing wrong with your car. So I left and it drove fine and there was nothing wrong with it. And I thought, well, how can this be? I have evidence right here in this Kleenex. But I really believe that Archangel Michael sent that man who could have been an angel, one of his angels, over and healed the car and fixed it, because I can't explain it. The mechanics actually said there's no residue of any oil or anything on this car. It is perfectly fine. So I don't know. I never did. I mean, all that oil came out. But when I checked the oil was fine. So I just don't understand it. I really believe Archangel Michael sent one of his angels or sent that man or whatever and fixed the car. And sent the man to me to let me know, just drive the car. The car is okay. Archangel Michael fixed it, so just drive it home and everything will be okay. But of course I didn't believe that because I had it towed, and when the mechanic said there's no residue, there's no evidence at all, it's fine, then I had to believe him, and I never had any problems after that. It was running perfectly. So that's my experience with the car being fixed. Now, Archangel Michael is very good at fixing mechanical things. So if you ever have any problems with any kind of machines or office equipment, computers, cars, Archangel Michael's the one to call on. Give him permission to help you and to fix these items, because he'll do it, because he did it with the car. So that's my experience. So I'm going to close the video now, and if you like below or subscribe. And I do have other YouTube videos on spirits and ghost communication that you may want to take a look at. And my website is www.opendoorswithin.com. And we'll see you in the next video. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye now.